Namaste friends. We are in the series of reviewing Bhagavad Gita with the medical aspect. So this is today is our second session of medical review of Bhagavad Gita. Yesterday we discussed the introduction of Bhagavad Gita little bit, that what is this text, what are this script, or what are these 700 shlokas is about. Today and even yesterday we touched a little bit topic of the integrative health also. I will summarize that few 3-4 sutras which discussed yesterday, and we will go ahead. So the integrative health approach is well coded. Actually, all the verses of the Bhagavad Gita basically are in a coded language. We have to decode it in different aspects or different angles. So basically, the emotional and mental health of a person, or what are the definitions of emotional and mental health, is described in Bhagavad Gita. Intellectual health definition is also given in Bhagavad Gita. The main tool or the techniques to hold this internal health is also described in Bhagavad Gita. The method to hold this health is described, which all these points we are going to discuss in this presentation. Hurdles and solutions while handling all these techniques, and the success keys or the important factor which is needed to keep the health, that is a nimitta matra bhava, and mantras to keep the health. Okay, so yesterday we discussed about the upper four points or bullet points. Okay, so we will go through that quickly. As the Bhagavad Gita is told by Sri Krishna to Arjuna in the battle or before the battle of the Mahabharata. So Arjuna was a fit person. Okay, Arjuna was a warrior. Okay, so physical health of a person or of the human body is not that explored or is not that discussed in Bhagavad Gita, because Bhagavad Gita or that principles, this knowledge is being told to a warrior or to a fit person. Okay, so but the warrior Arjuna or that person was physically fit, externally fit, but internally, because there are two aspects of the health, external health and internal health. Okay, but internally he was not healthy, and to make him healthy by his mind or by his intellect, because he was having a lot of conflicts in his mind. So to make him mentally fit, to make him intellectually fit, the Bhagavad Gita is told, or all the sutras of the Bhagavad Gita is told by Sri Krishna to Arjuna. Okay, so here in that there is a sutra in second chapter 56. Sutra says, Dukhesh vanudvigna manaha sukheshu vigata spruhaha vitaragha bhaya krodhaha sitadir muni ruchyate. Okay, so the definition of emotional and mental health of a person who is having emotional and mental health is called as a muni. Okay, the person who is not getting disturbed by any adversities, or who can control his fear, his anger, his attachments, that person is called as an emotional and mental healthy person. Okay, then intellectual health definition or the is also given in next 55th sutras. Sthita prajna prajahati yada kaman sarvan partha manogatan atmannevatmana tushtah sthita prajnasya dochyate. Okay, the person can be called as an intellectually healthy person if he has the steady intellect. Okay, no attachments or decreased attachment, or he know how to control his desires or his attachments, because there will be no person who don't have any desire or who don't have any attachment. Okay, but attachments and desire is the symbol of liveliness, or the person is called as a live when he has desires and attachments, of course. But the person who know, for example, we have a lot of examples of Sthita Prajna people. One of the example is Swami Vivekananda. So he can control his desires or attachments. That person is called as an intellectually healthy person, or in Sanskrit or in Vedic literature we call that person as a Sthita Prajna. Even the next important word in this shloka is Atmane Vatmana Tushtah. We are our happiness is dependent on others. If some other person is appreciating me, if other person is acknowledging me, then only I feel happy. So this is totally dependency on others for my internal happiness. So the person who is self-satisfied, self-motivated, self-determined, okay, that person can be called as intellectually healthy. Of course, this emotional unfitness, this intellectual unfitness, or any disturbances leads to the physical unfitness. Okay, so though the physical unfitness or physical health is not described in Bhagavad Gita, this intellectual and the emotional health is well described in Bhagavad Gita. We have discussed this yesterday. And the main tool to hold this intellectual health or this internal or emotional health is the mind. 6th chapter, 6th shloka says, Bandhuratmat manastasya yenatmai vatmanajitah anatmanastu shatrutve vartetatmaiva shatruvata. I am going fast because we have covered this yesterday. Mind is a best friend who can help us to conquer or to get this internal, emotional or intellectual health. And the mind is only the best weapon or best enemy to destroy this internal health. Okay, so mind is like a knife or like a scissor. I can use the scissor for constructive purpose also, for destructive purpose also. Okay, so like that, mind is like a weapon, mind is like a tool which has, in Sanskrit we say dudhari. It has a sword which has which is two-sided weapon. Okay, so we can use mind for getting the internal health also, or we can get, the mind is only the reason to get the internal unhealth or unfitness also. Okay, so the mind has a very significant role in this, in achieving the internal health. So how we will achieve that? We'll use this tool mind. 6th chapter 12 sutra says that we have to concentrate the mind on one aspect, on one subject. For example, we are discussing this today at 7:30 or 8 o'clock. So all this, no, so we have to concentrate our mind here for half an hour. Of course, whole day we will not be able to concentrate, or we will not able to keep on discussing this. But internally, you will continue your daily activities afterwards, after 9 o'clock or after completion of these sessions. But you have to dwell all these thoughts, whatever you are learning now, you are listening now. So that means internal mind, internal body may be doing all other activities, but the internal mind is concentrating on some object. So we should able to divert, or we should able to distinguish between the body and mind. Okay, I may be doing a lot of other activities after 9 o'clock, but my mind is dwelling on that. So I'm continuously in a stage of concentration. Okay, so in concentrate on our mind on some object, some principle, some thoughts. If we'll allow the lot of thoughts in mind throughout the day, it totally get stuck to one topic, one day or few days. Yata chittendriya kriyaha. When the mind is controlled, intelligence and senses are automatically controlled. And be there, upavishasane yunjat. Be there for a longer time. Try to get connected on one thought only for a longer duration of time. It can be anything. Now we are concentrating on this medical review of Bhagavad Gita. It can be anything. Try to be with one thought, with one subject for as long as you can hold this thought. So upavishasana yunjat, that will cause the atma shuddhi, or that will give you the atma shuddhi. So whenever you are concentrating, that is a stage of dharana according to Patanjali. And being there for a longer time is dhyana according to Patanjali also. Patanjali has different definitions, different wordings. In Bhagavad Gita also, tatre definitions of dharana and dhyana is given. Tatre kadgram manakrutva, that is a dharana. Upavishasane yunjad, be there for a longer time. Patanjali said tatra pratyaya ekathanata dhyanam. Okay, so in all scripts you will find different definitions of different text concepts. So that's not our topic today. Upavishasane yunjat yogam atma vishuddhase, and purify your internal aspect, that is your vijnana, that is your mind, and that is the self purification process. Okay, so we will use mind, we will use our willpower, and we will try to concentrate on one subject, one object for a longer duration of time. Again, I am repeating, body can do different things. Okay, we can we can classify our mind. Okay, of course we have to eat, we have to talk with people, we have to walk, we have to travel, we have to do so many things. throughout the day. Okay, so body can keep on doing that, but the mind has to be, there should be one subject, one object in the internal mind. I must be thinking on that continuously, and I should able to hold that thoughts for a longer duration of time. Changing the thoughts in the mind frequently is the root cause of the disease. Okay. So we have observed, we attend all these workshops, we attend this different satsangas, we different conferences, and we get our mind cleansed. Okay, we get our intellect cleansed, but we are not able to hold that cleanliness or cleanliness throughout the or for longer duration of time. Why? Because we are not able to follow the moderation. So chapter 17 sutra says, you can hold the health, or you can hold the internal health or coolness and calmness of mind when you will follow these things. युक्ताहार विहारस्य युक्त चेष्टस्य कर्मसु युक्त स्वप्नावबोधस्य योगो भवति दुःखः. Moderation in eating, moderation in recreation, everything. If suppose I am getting angry today or on someone's behavior, I should able to express my anger in a moderate way. I should not get carried away with that anger thought. Okay, or if I am in love with someone, okay, I should not get carried away with that love. Okay, moderation in eating. If I like some particular kind of dish, I should not keep on eating that. Okay, that can lead, physical causes of the diseases. If I will take extra calories, extra sweetness, sweet food, then I will lead to high sugar or a kind of different disease. We know different physical causes of the diseases. Okay, so moderation in eating, moderation in recreation, tempered action. As far as possible, we have to avoid the impulsive behavior. Of course, this is not easy, but it can be achievable. I will delay my reaction time. So something happens and we immediately react to that thing. By practice, I can delay. Okay, yukta cheshta. Tempered action has to be stopped, or impulsive behavior has to be avoided. Okay, that is the root cause of mental disturbances, and mental disturbances lead to the physical disturbances or the organ disturbances or the systemic disturbances. So if we'll try to have moderation in ahar, vihar, cheshta, swapna bodhasya also, that means in the dream state, the subconscious level also, that can give you, or that can lead you, or this is a state of yoga. Okay, that can lead you to yogo bhavati dukkha. That is the misery killer. That is the killer of your dukkha or your pain in your life. So till here we discussed yesterday. Now today we will discuss about the further aspect. Now there are few hurdles. Okay, we discussed that mind is a weapon, or mind is a tool which can give us the internal health, which can give us the coolness, calmness of the Manomay Kosha, as well as Vijnanamay Kosha, as well as the Anandamay Kosha also. But there are few, as you might be having some question, Arjuna also had the question, that chanchalam hi manah krishna pramathi balavatruam tasyaham nigraham manne vayoriva sudushkaram. When this discussion was going on, Arjuna asked Krishna that you are telling me, okay, that you have to use your mind for your internal, to achieve your internal health, but that is not so easy. Okay, it is chanchalo, it is restless, it is pramathi, it is turbulent or uncontrolled. It is balavat. Balavat means strong. It is having a lot of energy. Drudam, obstinate. It doesn't listen at all. Okay, so here controlling the mind is a very hard task, or it is a very tough task. It is one of the only tough tasks in the world, the controlling the mind. When we see that psychosomatic illness, we describe disease, or we described any kind of mental or physical health as a psychosomatic disease. Okay, the medical word for the disease is psychosomatic illness, where the word psycho is the initial word. Okay, that mind they get disturbed first, and then it leads to the somatic. or when mind causes the disturbances in the physical organs, in the physical systems. Okay, and if you might be aware of the yogic physiology of the diseases. It says that adhi, okay, that is mental disturbances creates the physical disturbances. So adhi is also getting created at the mind level. Okay, so it created that adhi get created at mind level, and then it disturbs the physical health. Okay, so this mind is a very root cause of the diseases. Okay, so how to handle that? Arjuna is asking how to control this, because it is a chanchal, it is pramathi, it is balavat, it is druda, it is obstinate. Okay, it is as good as vayoriva sudushkaram. If I will try to catch the vayu, or I will try to catch the wind, that it is as difficult as catching the wind. Okay, if I will try to catch the wind, it is extremely difficult task. Okay, vayu or the wind will escape from my hand. So catching the mind is as good as catching the vayu, or catching the air or wind. So Krishna is immediately gives the answer in next 35th sutras in the 6th chapter. Asanshayam mahabaho manodurnigraham chalam abhyasena tu kaunteya vairagyena cha gruhyate. Okay. So of course I know first day, second day, third day, first month, few months, 6 months, it will not be in your control. But abhyasena, practice, uninterrupted practice, constant observation and analysis of mind. Practice, for example, yoga has a physical practices also, like few sets of asanas, few sets of pranayamas. I can do that practices for 1 hour in morning, 1 hour in evening. Okay, it may be 2 hours in morning, 2 hours in evening, but 24 hours I cannot keep on doing the physical practices of yoga. Then what I should do? I should keep on observing the mind and analyzing my mind. That is possible. That what are their thoughts? What are the thoughts in my mind now, when the this complete surroundings are happening, or something is happening in your surrounding? What are the thoughts? Okay, are the thoughts good? Are the thoughts useful? Are or any kind of analysis, observation and analysis of the mind can be done 24 hours, and this practice helps to control the mind. Okay, of course physical practices of yoga, asanas and pranayamas and so many things help to get the health, but that we cannot keep on doing 24 hours. So internal practice of observation and analysis of the mind, I can keep on observing and analyzing my mind when I'm sleeping also, when I'm walking also, when I'm talking also. Okay, so that practice is needed. Abhyasena tu kaunteya. So abhyas, this kind of continuous, uninterrupted, constant observation and analysis of the mind is required to control the mind, because it is balavat. It will not listen or it is very difficult to control the mind. So that is needed for the controlling of the mind. So that is abhyasena. So here Krishna is giving two tools or two methods to control the mind. Abhyas, abhyas, constant practice of observation and analysis of mind, along with vairagya. Okay. So if you want to achieve the control over the mind, we have to observe and analyze the mind, as well as we have to adopt the second concept, that is a vairagya. Vairagya is detachment. Okay, vairagya is controlling the attachment. Okay, or controlling the any kind of relationships with maybe objects, with maybe subjects, with maybe people. Okay, so that is the vairagya, detachment from each and everything, detachment from living things, non-living things, everything. So there are two types of vairagya, bahya vairagya and antar vairagya. Bahya vairagya is external vairagya or temporary vairagya. Okay, my doctor tells me stop eating high calorie diet, stop eating this kind of sweets, stop eating this kind of some, you go to a dietitian or you go to a diabetologist, endocrinologist, cardiologist, and they say stop doing this, do this. Okay, then people purposefully, intentionally, they adopt a particular kind of lifestyle, eating style, food style, or maybe different lifestyle. That is a external, what we can say, vairagya. Okay, they adopt a particular kind of diet, they can adopt a particular kind of exercises, maybe yoga is also a kind of a lifestyle. But even some people can adhere that lifestyle for some 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, 2 years, 3 years, maybe 4 years. It depends on the individual, person to person. But that is, have they completely convinced with that? Okay, if the person is not convinced, he can adopt that external diet or exercises or maybe yoga for 6 months. After 6 months, he give up. No, I cannot continue with all this your diet or all this your schedule what you are asking me to do, and he return back to his original lifestyle. So this kind of vairagya is called as Bahya Vairagya, which is a temporary Vairagya, temporarily adopted changes in your lifestyle. But of course, this gives you the results in to achieve the physical and mental health. But it can again, the risk is that it can again return back to its original state. So the important Vairagya is the Antar Vairagya, internal giving up the cravings through happiness analysis and finding the alternatives. Okay, so suppose, for example, I have some cravings about high calorie diet or some sweetness or a kind of a like a acidic diet or any kind of diet, because you know acid peptic disorders, cardiovascular disorders, there are so many disorders or diseases which are caused due to the wrong eating habits. Okay, suppose I have some cravings towards a particular kind of a food or particular kind of food eating food style. So I have to think why I like that. You have to do the happiness analysis. I have to do the happiness. Where is my happiness? Why I keep on, why I have the cravings towards a particular kind of food? Because when I eat that particular kind of food, I feel happy and I feel satisfied. Most of the, in so many people, food is the only source of happiness. No, in eating disorders, no, there are so many eating disorders where which leads to mostly the complication as a obesity. So in that you'll find with the patients that they keep on eating a particular kind of diet or excessive diet or some kind of a diet because they want to get happy. So they have to it has to be clear, or they have to understood, or we have to make them understand that happiness is not in the food, or happiness is not in the cravings. Of course it is difficult, we have to keep on counseling them often and often. Okay, we have to talk with them. So where is your happiness? What are the other sources of happiness? Okay, it can be doing some hobby, it can be doing some work, it can be doing anything, you know. For different persons, happiness, getting happiness or activities for happiness may differ. So find out the alternatives to be happy rather than getting the cravings. For example, addictions. The people are alcohol addicted, the people are having smokings, no, continuous smokers, chain smokers. Why they go for addictions? Why they get that kind of cravings? Because they want happiness. They want to be happy while by consumption of alcohol, by consuming this cigarette or anything. Okay, or maybe drugs also. So find out the other healthy options to get the happiness. This is again a big subject or big aspect. I'm just summarizing it here. So this is called as antar vairagya. Okay, get detached from the things which can make you ill, or adopt or try to get attached with those things which can make you healthy, or finding the alternatives. Of course, this is a continuous practice and it takes a lot of time also, but this is the internal vairagya. So abhyas and vairagya can lead you towards the internal as well as external health. Then we will turn to the next topic, that is a success key to keep health. You know, so many people will say, madam, I'm continuously adopted to the healthy lifestyle. Okay, I'm continuously, I'm not doing any kind of addictions also. Okay, I'm whatever you said, I have controlled my mind. Then also people are suffering from the diseases. Okay, So that is a different kind of the diseases. Okay, we know there are type A personalities, type B personalities, type C personalities, and according to the personality, the people suffer from different disorders. Okay, so suppose type D personality or type D personality disorders, which are caused by wrong lifestyle, addictions, or wrong food style, that has been taken care till yet. Now about the type A, B, and C personality disorders. Why they get diseases? Because they adopt the doership. Okay, and they think that I am the doer of my family, or I have made my institute, I have made my house, I have made my career. Okay, this I word is very important, that I am doing, I am growing my children, I am helping my family, I am donating, I am giving donations. This I. They adopt the doership. They think that I am the doer of everything. So this aspect is taken here for this kind of disorders. What Shri Krishna is saying in 11th chapter, 33 sutras, Tasmat uttishta yasho labhasva jitva shatrun bhukshva rajya samudrum mayye vete nihattaha purvameva nimitta matram bhava savyasachin. This end 2, 3 words are very important. Nimitta matram bhava savyasachin. Savyasachin means expert, expert of archery, because Arjuna was a Dhanurdhar, expert of the archery. So he was a fit person, he was an expert of his work. So this Savyasachin means anything, the people who are expert in their job. They generally adopt, these are the type A personality disorders, or they adopt the type A personality disorder, for example, migraine, IBS, and there are a lot of disorders which are generally found in the type A personality. They are extremely experts, they are workaholic, they are the master of their jobs or masters in their skills. Okay, they are very skillful people. They adopt the bhava of the doership. So what the Sri Krishna is saying, nimitta matram bhava savyasachin. Savyasachin means the expert of his job. Savyasachin is also a synonym to Arjuna. Hey Arjuna, or hey Savyasachin, you be nimitta matram. You be just an instrument. Krishna tells in this particular sutra to Arjuna, get up and prepare to fight. After conquering enemies, you will enjoy the flourishing kingdom. They are already put to death by my arrangement. I am telling you to kill these people, and you are thinking that you are killing these people. Okay, so you are not doing anything. I am doing anything. If you will deny to kill the people, they will be killed by some other method, or they will be killed by some another arrangements. So please do as directed. Be nimitta matra. You just become the instrument in this fight or in this battle. You are not doing anything. I am killing these people, or I am going to kill all these people who is participating in this battle. Okay. So this nimitta matra bhava is a success key to keep the health. That is a non-doership. We as a human being is having lot of limitations. In next few sutras, we will see the limitations of the human body and human aspect also. We are having very limited approach or limited resources. We are just an instrument of the ultimate reality, or we are just an instrument of the creator of this universe. He is doing everything. We are not doing anything. What happens, what the mistake this type A personality people do, that because they are experts of their, they have spent it learning their work, or they are quite qualified, they are expert, or they have experienced, they have practiced their whatever the activities, or they are in their particular field for longer duration of time, and now they have become experts of that, and they think they adopt when the ego is mostly found in the experts or in the masters of any field. So this adoption of ego and adoption of non-doership, doership leads to the type 8 personality disorder. Okay, that can be migraine, that can be IBS, that can be cardiovascular disorders, so many disorders, mostly the neural disorders or endocrinal disorders is caused by because of the having the getting the bhava of doership. Okay, so what Arjuna, Sri Krishna is telling, opportunity of becoming the nimitta matra is given to the always experts. You know, suppose I am head of some project, I will ask the some tasks who are my expert colleagues or who are my expert people. So the opportunity of nimitta matra bhava or becoming the instrument of God is always given to the experts. Okay, the people who are not in the who are not expert of their job or of their skills, that this becoming nimitta matra is not, that opportunity is not offered to those people. Okay, in Bhagavad Gita also Sri Krishna is discussing with all these things with Arjuna and not with other warriors, because Arjuna was the most experienced, most skillful, most savyasachi within among that all people. Okay, so, and he is asking Arjuna that be the nimitta matra or be the instrument of my work. Okay, so this opportunity of getting the nimitta matra bhava is always offered to the experts, to the savyasachi only. But what the experts think? They adopt the doership. I am doing this. I am the responsible for so many things. Okay, so and they keep on after adoption of this kind of thought process for longer duration of time leads to so many type A personality disorders. For example, IBS or maybe CAD, maybe migraine, maybe depression, maybe anxiety, so many things. Anxiety disorders are the basic causes of the doership or this kind of adopting this doership bhava. So we have to adopt the non-doership. Okay, because we have to keep on dwelling or we have to learn this kind of scripts like Bhagavad Gita, then only we will adopt we can adopt the non-doership. Okay, after learning, discussing or reviewing Bhagavad Gita or so many other texts also, we understand that universe is running according to a plan or according to a blueprint. Okay, I am just an instrument to make it happen. The divine plan is already as you keep on learning this kind of scripts, you will get this principle or you will learn this principle that universe or the world is running through according to a plan, according to a blueprint. For example, let us take that Arjuna wanted to avoid the battle, but could he able to avoid the battle? No. Sri Krishna made him to fight. Sri Krishna made him to kill the people. Okay. Initially, he was literally gave up all the weapons that I don't want to fight, but Sri Krishna made him to fight. Okay. So, because that was a divine plan. If Arjuna could have refused to fight and if he could have walked out from that battle, Sri Krishna might have adopted someone else and get the things done, get the battle fought. Okay, so we are not a doer. We are just getting an opportunity to do the things. Okay, we are just an instrument of the God. So the solution of to adopt the non-doership is that to understand the divine plan by bhakti. There are a lot of bhakti yoga practices. Through that, we can understand what is a divine plan. Okay, and we can act only according to that. So adopting the nimitta matra bhava can resolve lot of so many physiologies or pathophysiologies of type A disorders. So in next two sutras also, in 11 chapter 34 sutras also, I have now provided the sutra here. Here also, Sri Krishna is saying, all these warriors are already dead by me due to their karmas. You just kill their bodies or you just follow the procedures. They are already dead. But that means the things are already going to happen. We have to just become the reason or nimitta to make the things happen. When I adopt this non-doership, automatically, and this is practically observed by us in so many cases, that cases like migraine, cases like IBS, literally the people start decreasing the symptoms when they are convinced with this non-doership or this nimitta matra bhava, and they start adopting this bhava in their life or in their lives. So next sutra or next mantra or key, success key for the keeping health is adopting swadharma. First key we discussed that adopting the nimitta matra bhava. Second thing is adopting the swadharma. Okay, in 18th chapter 47 sutra, Sri Krishna is telling Shreyan swadharmo vigunaha paradharmat swanushchitat swabhava niyatam karma kurvan apnoti kilvisham. Following the swadharma. Okay, here everybody is born on this earth with some duties according to their karmas or according to their nature. Some people are sattvic, some people are, I mean, three gunas are found in each and every person. But some people are sattva dominant people, some people are rajas dominant people, some people are tamas dominant people. So basically, each and every person's mind is the permutation and combination of these three gunas. So according to the mental status or according to the status of the three gunas, the atma or the soul get the life in a particular area, in a particular house, in a particular body, or in a particular state. Okay, so and according to that three gunas or according to that status of the three gunas, each and every body or each and every person is allowed or allocated with some jobs in their lives. So one thing is that we have to keep on thinking. There are so many people when we grow up, so many people keep on telling our jobs and responsibilities. Okay, but somewhere we have to think in our mind and get connected to the divine plan, that why the God or why the creator of this universe is allowed me to get birth on this planet, with which plan what he want me to do on this earth. Okay, so everybody is allocated some jobs, so that jobs we have to do with dedication. But what a mistake we are doing here. We may some people are quite satisfied with their jobs and with their allocation of their duties, but some people may get wrong conceptions about their jobs. Okay, I am like this. I think I have. These are the actually practical statements shared by few patients, that I think I should not. I don't deserve this, or I think I can quite do that job better, but my boss or my superior are asking me to do this job. See, this creates the conflictions. This creates the disturbances in the mind. If my boss is asking me to do something, if I keep on telling no, I deserve this, something different. I am expert in that job. I should do that job. And why my senior, boss is asking me to do this? Okay, so this creates the conflictions in the mind, and longer confliction, no, chronic conflictions, this kind of conflictions. If my head of the family, if my head of the organization is asking me to do some kind of a job, and if I keep on thinking that I'm not suitable for this job, or I don't deserve this job, I'm expert in something else. So this kind of conflictions leads to the constant adhi, creation of the adhi, and then vyadhi. So for swadharma, or the basic duties told to you, has to be completed by adopting the swadharma. Okay, so doing allocated jobs with dedication is something called as a swadharma. Okay, and not adopting others' job, not having the mental pattern that I'm good in that and I'm not able to get the opportunity to do that job. Okay, karmas are allocated to each and every human being according to their gunas. We cannot be the good analyzer of our own gunas, or we cannot be a judge of our own gunas. The other person or the divine person or the God know us very well, and according to our qualities, according to our abilities, he keep on allocating jobs or duties to us. Our swadharma is only to complete that. Okay, so if we'll keep on having this kind of doubts, okay, that why I have been always told I like to do something and I always forced to do something different. Okay, so this kind of doubts leads to conflictions, leads to depression, leads to adhi, and that leads to vyadhi. Okay, so without doubt, accept the duties and the responsibility what is told to you, maybe by another person, maybe by the God. Okay, because another person, some person is telling you to do something, the God is making him to ask you to do some kind of job. Okay, so better without doubt we should accept the duties or the responsibilities what are allocated to us. That leads to the dissolution of the adhi. So for this we need bhakti yoga. No, bhakti yoga have a lot of practices which make us to adopt this kind of a bhakti bhava that can dissolve the adhi. So, following the Swadharma, first thing we discussed that following the Nimitta Matra Bhava is one solution to decrease the internal disturbances, and following Swadharma is the next thing which is useful to decrease the internal disturbances. If our internal health, mental and psychological health is fit, external health will be, or that lead to external healthy body. Okay, so thank you very much here. I'm stopping. I'm holding the recordings here.